I expect, or I anticipate this West Indian team to go out there and really, uh, take control of this game from the get-go. I feel they'll go out there. There's no pressure. I think they'll go out there and just express themselves and really have fun. And in general, they're the kind of people who like to go out there and enjoy themselves and play cricket and have fun. And this is like the ideal opportunity to actually do that for themselves. And I think that's what they'll go out and do. I feel like they'll dominate this game. I have a feeling they'll dominate this game.
And they certainly want to dominate this game, because if we have a look at West Indies cricket, let's just remind you, if you have a quick look at the history of World Cup cricket, 75 and 79, they started out, they threw down the gauntlet, they were the champions in the first 2 years, and then when things started to go wrong, 1983, they obviously reached the famous final against India, lost on the 25th of June, and 1987 onwards, if you have a look at the amount of the win-loss records, it's not something they'd want to look back on with fondness, because they've just made that one semi-final in all these editions, and in 1996 that was.
Post those World Cups, I think this year they will be most disappointed with, because they had the squad of youngsters, and it was a good mix of youngsters and experienced players to put up a good show. They started well, by winning that first match in a very one-sided affair with Pakistan. Looked like they're prepared with some kind of planning around it. Looked like it might be one of those campaigns like the T20 wins which they had, where they just started enjoying cricket again and did smart planning, and everything was just coming together. After that first win against Pakistan, that team gave those kind of signs. They progressed it to the game against Australia till about 30-35 overs, till Nathan Coulter and Alan Smith took it away from them, and after that they've just kind of lost direction in terms of picking the squad, the playing 11, and the strategies, overdoing the short ball stuff. Not really things coming together for them. It just kind of went haywire after that, and they just couldn't control. So I think the points table where they are lying at the moment, and the kind of squad which they have, is not really justifying. And you would want to see that the remaining two games they win and go on a high, because I was thinking that West Indies was one of the dark horses for this World Cup. They had the ability to surprise teams, and they started like that. It's just that they couldn't close the moments. They were not proactive in terms of the potential going forward. I think this team has shown that they have those youngsters. Puran has got great potential. Hetmeyer, the Shai Hope. So that's something which certainly they should look at building on. Obviously, Chris Gayle will make way for another youngsters to come, but on the whole, I think the table doesn't really justify their position.
Absolutely, and exactly what Floyd Reefer, the coach, has been saying, echoing your words, that the future of their cricket is good. Hope, Puran, Hetmeyer, O'Shane Thomas. John Campbell is someone they rate very highly. He's a hard-hitting. He's probably the next Chris Gayle that they consider. So, they've got futures in good hands for the West Indies, and lots of flourishing talent coming through the Caribbean Premier League as well. But it's small moments that can change an entire campaign.
Yes, so what you see amiss with this West Indies side, or in general in the West Indian side over the past, maybe decade or so, is the fact that at least from the 2000s, it felt like there's no one there who's willing to take that responsibility to lead that side, or take ownership for their performances, or ownership for performances of the side. You think that if someone like Chris Gayle, or obviously there's a lot of things going on in West Indies cricket. You can't, it's easier to speak from while you don't know the whole picture, but you just hope that, because there's so much talent within that group, you just hope that a few people took that responsibility, and they've done that in T20 cricket, and you've seen the results are there to see. They've won two 2020 World Cups over a period of a few years, and they're a very formidable T20 side. With one-day cricket, if you have guys like Shai Hope coming in taking responsibility, Nicholas Puran coming in and taking responsibility, it seems like the only guy who's taking ownership about the whole group is the leader. is their captain, and he's become like, he's developed as a leader, has gotten better and better with time. His performances has improved because of his ownership of his performances, the leadership with which he's going about his business. You can see that there's a certain assurance of him performing. Jason Holder, that when you see Jason Holder, that he's gonna give you something with the ball, he's gonna give you something with the bat. He's a dangerous customer. That he can go out there and put up performances that will really take this team ahead. A couple of more guys like that in West Indies would do them like a world of good.